What up? What up? What up, YouTube? How y'all feeling? Today, we gotta talk about Clarissa. Ressa the Guo. Whatever you wanna call her. We gotta speak on Ressa and Pat. Now, first off, let me say, Ressa, congratulations to all your accolades, but you've been doing too much. You overwhelming. Now, I'm gonna tell you the truth, cause this the truth. Over here we tell the truth, nothing but the truth, it always gonna be the truth. You just gotta listen. Now, Ressa, Pat got you in old school pimp mode. Operation old school pimp mode. Now, you probably don't know what that is because you was spending more time in the gym than in the streets when you was in the gym like you was supposed to be. Cause if you focus on the gym, you ain't got no time for no man. And the man that you did have, you just ghost him for Pat. But let's get to it, right? All right. Now, Pat supposedly came to one of her fights, walked up, shook her hand, great fight, and she looked at Pat. That's a good looking fella. And after that, she DM'd him to invite him to her next fight. Let's get into that. First off, how are you a female DMing a male to get in relations or whatever? Because if he came to that fight and he really was feeling how you was coming, you wouldn't have to DM him to come to your next fight. You jump too fast. That's your problem. You jump too fast. Now, you DM him, knowing he got a wife, acting like, oh, you don't know who Remy is, or you ain't feeling Remy like that. Nah. What happened was, you seen the rumors and everything was going around about what Remy was supposedly on, allegedly, and you felt like, oh, I'ma be Mrs. Savior, and you wanted to jump in there to try to upgrade Pat, not knowing you was downgrading yourself. No disrespect to Pat, but I'm just saying, you was already engaged. And the stuff that's going around, Pat proposed to her, even though it didn't wore out and it got old, Pat was not engaged to her. The ring that she was showing was the time when she was engaged to Tony. She was engaged to him, and I'm not sure what happened in that situation. He never came out and said like, oh, this what happened, you know. And the fact that it's been this long let you know he ain't even chasing the clout. He probably thinking like, I dodged the bullet. I got scotch free. But you thought you was just gonna jump on the bandwagon and, oh, they gonna be on him when, no, and he knew you was green. He knew. Ever since you've been with Pat, you've been zapping. I remember I used to watch your lives almost every morning, and you were so humble, such a just such a go getter, influencing person. Now every time you get on that camera, it's something negative, and that's not good. It's not good. And then what be getting me is when you be saying, "Oh, did y'all know Pat signed a $1.5 million deal back in the day?" That was 20 years ago. Times change. 1.5 ain't still, like, he signed a $1.5 million deal 20 years ago. 20 plus years ago. And I'm gonna come back to you, Ressa. But Pat, I'm gonna tell you where you messed up at. See, you messed up with your career where you signed that deal. You went for the biggest deal. What the other people was offering you a milli, and you took the 1.5 because it was more, and it didn't work in your favor, and you blaming it on the label, saying, "Oh, when the label changed, this happened, this happened." It's your fault, Pat. Busta Rhymes threw you the biggest alley hoop of your career. A couple alley hoops, cause he got on your track that I think it was Count the Green or something. But when he put you on Touch It, he threw you the alley hoop because he was feeling how you was coming. He felt like, "Hey, I'm gonna give brother a chance." And see, Pat, what you did was you went and looked for a deal instead of taking that and say, "All right, I did this, and my name still not really ringing the map. Like, I'm not going to that extent of whereas though I put out a project after that and it sells out." Pat, your flow is not to the point where as though people gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta go get that Pat album." You signed the job and went double copper. No disrespect, I'm just telling the truth. Once you put out a project, after that Touch It, and you realize, oh, it didn't sell, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. What you do know is you good on features. You should have been a feature artist. You should have been chasing them down for features. I guarantee you still got time. Get on some features. That's what type of artist you is. And some people like that. Some people like that. Start doing features. I guarantee you ain't been on too many features. Like I say, Busta threw you the biggest alley hoop. Shout outs to Bus. He threw you the biggest alley, and I remember when I heard your verse, I even argue that you had the best verse on there. Still to this day, I will argue that you had the best verse on there. I was like, he about to be big. Who is this? Like, whoa. You went crazy. But sometimes the world don't adjust to what you're doing. And you can put that in the basket of you may be ahead of your time. You may be one of them people that's too far ahead of your time. They don't appreciate you now, but they gonna appreciate you later. But for them to do that, you gonna have to get on some feature stuff. Get on some features, and I guarantee your career do what it's supposed to do. Don't worry about dropping. Just do features. And when you do drop, don't worry about the numbers. Just drop. But your main goal is features. That's where you lose at. That's where you crap out. And if you still got that gambling addiction, you need to throw that away. You need to throw that away. Going to the casino, I can see if you was playing numbers. You going to the casino, dropping 50, 60. And then you had me on your side. That's where you threw me through a loop. When this all came out, that Remy allegedly did what she did, and then you came out with your video, and the spick hit the fan, I was like, yeah, Pat got this. Don't worry, Remy will be crawling back in a week. I guarantee you. And then Remy came out with a video. I was like, oh man, I don't know. A little shaky, but I still was on your side. Still was on your side. And soon as things got the rolling and coming out, come on now. And then you said, oh, you wrote every song for her. I ain't gonna lie, when you said that, I kinda didn't believe it. And then I realized I don't believe it. I realized like, nah, I just don't hear Pat in none of these bars. I didn't hear you in none of them bars, but hey, if you did, show the proof. And Remy said, you can't write for yourself or anybody else. And you ain't been the man since Touch It. Like, let's be real. Since Touch It, you haven't been the man. You had a cool little hot moment, and then that fell off. You signed your deal. We don't know what happened. We didn't hear you after that. So, trust me. Just get on the feature tip and you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Back to Ressa. You can't be flexing around with somebody else's husband and the internet is not satisfied with that and think you're going to get away with that. When you went up there to the radio station with Young Jock and them, and I can't even remember the lady name, Miss Shaniqua, I think. I apologize if I get the name wrong, but shout outs to her. She called you on it and she threw herself under the bus, so you know she was trying to be genuine. She was trying to be genuine. She was on some like, hey, you really, like, but you really gonna let this take you down? Like, she threw herself under the bus. She say she been there. So she telling you, like, this don't really get nowhere. You see what's going on. And if he asking for what he asking for from Remy, what you think he gonna do to you? What you think he gonna do to you? You think, oh, you excluded. And that's where your green is coming at. That's where the old school pimp mode coming at. Thinking you better. But all you doing is competing with somebody that ain't even worried about what y'all got going on. She not thinking about Pat. You see Remy out there living her best life. And you sitting there trying to play, oh, we good. We ain't worried about nothing. We got it going on. All that in the bag of potatoes. Stop it. Stop it. Because at the end of the day, if he did that to her, he'd do it to you. Period. If he hitting her for that money, what you think he lining you up for? And you was a fan of Remy at one point. DMs prove it. The DMs prove it. But you on some, oh, I'm a, like, and you got a song for dedicated to him where you say you let him lead you with your eyes closed and all that. Okay. And we see you really believe that, because when you was trying to snap on Remy, he wouldn't even let you. He would cut you off. Hey, nah, don't. Only time you really got to speak on something is when you was really doing the interview and it was just you and he wasn't able to stop you. And honestly, I feel like if he really for you, he would have let you snap. Cause that's why you so bottled up the way you is, because you ain't getting to get it off, cause he probably behind the scenes saying, hey. And then the pap upstairs, like, come on. When you take Pap his food upstairs, Pap sitting in the dark, staring off into the abyss. That man is depressed. You need to make sure he alright. Make sure he okay. Like, he upstairs, but he upstairs drowning in sorrow type time. Sitting in the dark, just like, come on. Ressa, y'all need to get it together over there. Like I said, he got you in Operation Old School Pimp Mode. And if you don't know what that is, go watch Preacher Kid and you'll learn. Shout outs to Tank. Shout outs to Latoya. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all locked in, but it's not what you think it is, because you jump in his DMs. He didn't press you. He came to one fight and you said, oh, I'm head over heels. You didn't even play your cards right. Had a full house and folded. Stop. And to think that people is hating and all that, like, nah, trust me, it ain't that. They trying to help you. This one, they trying to help you. And the numbers where they say you made $500K, and they said the other young lady, I can't think of how to say her name, like Takashi, Tasiki, she's supposed to make $550K. Now, if that's true, they did that to show you, like, hey, yeah, you ain't. I doubt if she made that type of money, but if she did, kudos. But if she did really make that type of money, she made more than you, and you was the main event. Like, come on. Please, Ressa, you gonna have to, now, you just gonna have to come out and show us a check. You gonna have to. Show us that, hey, no, I'm getting this what it is. At least do that to give your there you go, is in your face now. If you really having it like that. Cause all that check got to say is a meal and you good. But this the truth over here. We tell the truth, nothing but the truth. It's always gonna be the truth. Holla at y'all later.